All right. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk with Patrick podcast, one of the realest podcasts in the world, the land, the galaxy, and the whole entire universe. I have a buddy of mine. She was a former model. Okay. She also is a storm chaser. She works around animals. And she is also working on a film, which is pretty incredible, to be honest with you. This is my buddy, Tam. You're from Canada, am I correct?
Hi guys. Originally from Canada, but I live in Florida now. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So what brought you down to Florida anyway?
I got married to an American, so I moved here. And Canada's really cold, and I don't like cold.
Uh,
So,
yeah.
um, I always knew that I would move somewhere tropical. Like I knew it from like when I was little. I'm like I need to have like a beach and like warm weather and no snow. So, I mean, it's not like it came as a surprise to me.
Really? So how do you like Florida compared to Canada?
Weather wise, it's like awesome. I can like I'm really an outdoor person, so like I can hike all year long. I can kayak, I can paddleboard, I can swim. But I do miss Canada. I do miss like the people and the mountains and the healthcare and all that stuff. I do miss it, and my family's up there, so
Okay, so
I
you by
imagine I'll
yourself?
return. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So would you say the people in Canada are more friendlier than people in Florida?
Um,
Or about the same?
I don't know. They're different. They're different. I wouldn't say they're more friendly. I mean, I've met a lot of friendly people here. Um, I have a lot of really good friends that are American that are like super nice. They're like the nicest people I've ever met. So, I think you just have rude people everywhere, really, you know, and
That is
you have
true.
nice people everywhere. So,
Right, that's true.
so
You
yeah,
got a good point.
yeah.
So, how was your upbringing in Canada? Like, do you have any siblings or what?
Yeah, I have a younger sister. Um, who I mean we're best friends, but like she's completely opposite of me. Like I'm really introverted actually, but she's like really extroverted and um she's hilarious. Like she's so funny. Like she can just come up with like comebacks and like jokes like on the spot, and whereas me like I have to think about it. um so yeah, so I have a younger sister, and then my mom's up in Canada as well. Um so yeah, and then all my cousins and aunts, everyone's in Canada.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, do you talk to your family often, or you just, I guess,
Oh yeah,
sporadically? Okay.
like
Okay.
text like every day, and then like thank goodness for like FaceTime.
Yeah.
And I'm actually planning on going to Canada in like the next 3 weeks for the summer. So yeah, so that's good. That'll be good.
That'd be
I always go
awesome.
every summer. So
I
yeah.
never been to Canada before. I would love to visit one day in the future.
Oh, you should. Just don't go in the
Uh,
winter unless you really like
oh
cold. But you
no,
live in
no,
cold, right? Yeah.
I do, but like the summertime is
Oh
great. Like it feels amazing, right? It's
yeah,
been like in the 60s lately, just because it's been raining almost every day. But the
yeah.
wintertime, yeah, it's brutal. I can't stand it. I get tired
So
of the
like
snow. I
yeah, uh, and you're in Colorado, so like I don't know, like quadruple that coldness in Canada. Like it gets cold.
well, I seen on the Weather Channel, you guys get like below like 40. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, like your eyeballs freeze up there. Like
What?
it can be cold. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
I
god!
remember
I see.
when I used to have
I
to
see
work
why
up
you left.
there.
You
Yeah,
said what?
yeah. I don't know. When I used to work up there, I mean, you'd have to like get up like super early just to like get your car warmed up in the morning, and then like go out and like scrape the ice off, and then like you have coffee in your car, and it's already cold by the time you get to work. I mean, it's like cold in the
Oh,
winter. It
jeez.
sucks, and
That
I do
sucks.
not miss that at all.
Oh my god, that's horrible. I'm getting the chills right now even thinking about
Yeah, but
that.
the
I
the
can
summers
envision.
are great.
So is it kind of humid up there or what?
No,
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 it's dry.
it's pretty dry. Yeah.
Re-
Like when I go up
I,
now, like I'm used to Florida's humidity. So when I go up to Canada, like I get like so like my skin gets dry, like I get my lips get all chapped, like it's crazy. Like I can't believe I used to live there and like it was like normal for me.
that is crazy. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
interesting. So when you was up in Canada, did you develop your passion for modeling during that time, or when you moved to America? That's when you developed your passion for it.
No, like this, I like that. It was back in the day that I was like doing more modeling, and I really only did it because like I had a lot of friends that were like photographers, and they're like, oh, we need you to like practice on you, so you know we can build our portfolio. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then it just kind of like grew from there.
Wow. So did you like doing modeling or not really?
I did at the time. Now, not so much. Like I prefer, like I really like photography myself now. Like so, I like being behind the camera and not in front of it. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. It's just it's got to be something that's intrigues me though. Like I used to not be picky about it. Like I used to just say yes, I'll model. Yeah, I'll do another dress shoot or I'll do another fashion shoot or whatever. But now it's got to be something that's like really creative, almost, or like really. It's got to be really interesting to me. Not just something that you know you see on Instagram everywhere. Like you know, it's got to be something that's like unique.
Right, right. Yeah, because the pictures you take are pretty impressive, to be honest. Absolutely,
Oh,
it
thank
is.
you, thank you.
Yes, it's an art to it for sure. Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
you was never into like the runway modeling, were you?
No, I mean I did a few like local like runway shows for like local like indie fashion artists back when I was in Canada. But nothing like it wasn't ever something that I really wanted to be.
Hmm.
Plus I'm like super short, so like I was told like yeah, that would never happen for you. But
How
like I didn't
tall are
really
you?
care cuz I'm like 5'4".
I don't know. Oh, I thought you was taller than that for some reason. I don't know why.
No, I'm short. But I mean, I wasn't like devastated cuz I'm like it's not really, and I'm also a klutz, so like I can't even imagine myself like walking in heels like down like a runway. Like I know I would like I'd fall or something.
Right. So were you
So,
nervous when you did your first photo shoot?
oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, I was. Well, not really my first photo shoot, but like my first like bikini photo shoot. Yeah, I was like super um like I was just like scared and like I'm like I don't know if like my mom's gonna approve of this, like you know, like that kind
Oh
of
yeah.
thing. So,
Right.
but now like
Jeez.
now it's and then you just kind of like you get more confident in it, and yeah, and like I said, I started off with like friends that were photographers, so it wasn't like you know strangers like I didn't know. So that really helped, and I'm still like friends with a lot of those photographers today.
Oh, that's good because you it's a lot
Yeah.
of creepy people in the industry. I'm sure. I can only imagine.
Oh, there is totally, and I mean, I've had a couple of creepy, really creepy experiences that, you know, I'm like, I can't believe I put myself in that situation. But yeah. So I mean, this was when I was like, you know, really young, and I'm like, just I don't care. I just want photo shoots. I just want photos, and but now, like, I always tell people, like, definitely like vet your photographers. You know, ask them if you can have a chaperone with you. You know, that kind of thing.
Hmm. Right. That's important because if they say no, you know they have the wrong intentions.
Oh
Big
yeah,
time.
yeah. Like yeah, there was like this one really creepy dude. Really creepy. And then I did ended up doing a photo shoot with him and ended up leaving um early. Like I just left. I made up some excuse that, you know, my mom needed me at home. There was an emergency. Just because got like really creepy vibes. And then
Oh
later
wow.
on I found out that like there was like 10 different models the same thing. And like he was like really inappropriate with them. So
Oh wow. Did he get in
oh,
trouble
yeah,
for that? Or
bad.
He's still doing his thing.
I think he's still doing his thing.
Oh Lord. Okay.
He's like blacklisted though. Like, he's like, you know, it's like do not shoot with him. But I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of girls out there that you know they don't know.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
mean, I can see how. Go ahead. I'm
it was
sorry.
creepy. No, that's fine. It was creepy. Like it was really
Oh
creepy.
jeez. That's so sad because like I'm sure there's people that's desperate to get on, like to get famous from that, and then people like they will take advantage of desperation. They will.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
sick.
And like I mean, and he wasn't really that good of a photographer anyway. So I think it was almost like a guise for him. Like oh, I'm a photographer, but he just really wanted to see naked girls.
Wow.
It
Lord have
was
mercy.
gross, gross, gross,
So
creepy.
yeah, jeez. Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. I mean, good Lord. So if you had a daughter, you would you like recommend her to go that route as far as like modeling, or would you try to steer her to go somewhere else, or would you just support
Oh,
her?
I would definitely. I'd steer her to go somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah. I tell
I
her
can
to
only
get more
imagine.
into acting, or you know, unless she was like really like into fashion or something that was like more, you know, like magazine or, you know, but just to do it for fun, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, geez, I can only imagine. Wow. So I was
Especially
going.
nowadays, I don't know. Like I watch all these like murder podcasts and stuff, and I'm just like, you can't really trust anyone.
Oh,
so
yeah, I can only imagine. I mean,
so like if
do
I yeah
they have stories about like modeling, like people getting killed from that?
yeah yeah
Oh, geez, wow, that's sad.
yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
you just I mean that's why I would say like if you were gonna model, like definitely bring a chaperone, or definitely like have someone tell someone like where you're gonna be at like at all times. I don't know. You can't trust anyone these days. That's what I've learned from murder podcasts. Anyone
You
could be
really
a
can't.
murderer.
Right. It's really weird out there. I actually done
Yeah.
runway before one time in my life. I done it. It was
Oh,
about
I could see you
about
doing that.
really.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't see. I just tried it out because my sister she did it. It was like maybe 20 years ago or so, maybe a little longer than that. But she did it, and she was really good with the runway thing. I sucked at it, but they thought I had great features. I'm like, I guess I don't know if you see in it, but I appreciate it, whatever. And they had me. Some company called me one time to go down to Miami, and I just didn't do it. I thought they was pulling my
Oh,
leg. I thought they was lying. Yeah, so I don't
yeah.
know. It's just one of my things because I was more like a of a boxer and I was into that stuff and doing music.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
but it was like a cool experience. I was kind of nervous when I did it though. I'm like, because like I said, I
Yeah.
look awkward. I didn't know how to do the right pose or anything. I'm walking just weird. So
Right. Yeah, it's like an awkward feeling when you're like, what do I do? Do I look dumb?
right, exactly. And I tried watching
Yeah.
videos like on TV because we didn't have YouTube back then. But I tried to see like stuff on TV, whatnot, and I just couldn't do it. I suck. I suck big time. I was horrible. Oh my god.
It's like me.
Jeez. But so how many years you been doing modeling, by the way?
I think I started when I was like 19.
Okay. So it's
So
been a
like a
while.
long time. I don't really do much anymore. Like I said, I prefer taking photos, and I'm like older now, so like I prefer doing different things. If the right opportunity came up, I probably would do something cool. But like I'm more into like other things than modeling.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So what was modeling at that time? Was it therapeutic for you in some ways?
Oh yeah, it was like an expression of art, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see
Like
that.
especially like some of the more creative shoots, you know, when I would find a like a creative photographer, that would always be the best. Like I have one photographer friend, Kevin, and he always had like these crazy ideas. It's like let's cover you in clay. I'm like, yes, let's do that. Or he'd have crazy ideas like let's cover you in like coffee grounds and take some really creepy photos against like a black brick wall. And I'm like, yes. And those are like some of my most favorite shoots. I mean, they're almost creepy, and I kind of like that because it's like you don't see anything like that. And yeah,
Right.
that's definitely like I find that like a form of art
Yeah.
almost. Yeah.
I'm kind of going back for a second because I remember earlier you said you're an introvert. I can't see that for some reason.
Oh, I am like so introverted.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. You always been that way,
I
huh?
know. I yeah, and people are always like, well, how can you like be a model and expose yourself when you're like such an introvert? But I mean, there's a lot of people that are introverted that are like actors or like even like comedians, and I think you can like I can like fake being an extrovert pretty easy, but like really like my true self, like I am an introvert. Like I don't really make friends that easy.
Right.
Um and when I do, it's like I'm really picky about my friends. Like I'm picky about like what I let them know about myself.
Absolutely.
Um so I'm really not a social butterfly. Like, I don't really like parties. I'd rather just stay home with my dog. Um, I mean, I have a lot of social media friends, but that's like different because obviously you're not like face to face.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I am. I'm like super introverted.
Interesting. I can say for myself, I'm an introvert and an extrovert. It just depends on how I feel and
Yeah,
depend how I wake up, my energy,
yeah,
all this stuff play a factor. And it depends on the people energy too. If people energy is like low vibration, then I just shut down. I just be to myself, or I just rather just isolate myself and be somewhere else or go home.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
older I get, the more I like being at home. I do. I rather be at the house and just be in the safe space as I get
yeah,
older. That's what I'm
yeah,
becoming.
yeah.
So I'm gonna
I
kind
think
of
we're all
go
like
ahead.
that. No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I was
That's
gonna
okay.
kind of I was gonna kind of like segue into this storm chaser thing. How'd you go from modeling into storm chasing? Like what brought you to storm chasing? Were you obsessed with storms as a child, or what? Or is it a movie you saw, or what?
Um, well, I I've always liked like nature, right? Like ever since I was little, my mom always taught me like respect nature. Like my family, we always went camping. Um, she's always like nature's not something to be scared of. It's something we have to respect, and like storms are part of nature, right? So, um, I mean, I've always liked storms. Um, so I met my husband in Florida, who is a storm chaser, and he is what really got me into learning about the science of storm chasing. Like, there's actually a lot of science to it. It's not just like you see a cloud and you go out and hope you're going to see, a massive tornado. Like, there is a lot of meteorology and like science forecasting that goes with it. Um, which was totally like a surprise to me. Like, I had no idea like that these like storm chasing models existed, and you could forecast using like dew points, and I mean, it's still over my head, some of it, but it's just it's so cool.
Yeah, I mean,
So
you took some amazing pictures that I seen. Like, whoa, and even the footage that you had posted, I thought it was incredible as
yeah,
well.
yeah, like yeah, but I mean, I like chasing anything. Like, I like chasing storms. I like when I go hiking, like, I like, it's not really chasing, but I like looking for wildlife. Like, I will purposely go out and say like, I'm gonna go look for an alligator today. I'm gonna go find an alligator, and I go out and find an alligator and I photograph it. Or
Right.
when I go to Yellowstone, it's like, I'm going to go to Yellowstone to find wolves, and it's not sometimes not that easy, but that's I always like the like finding things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually held an alligator when I was a child. They had his mouth taped up, but I thought it was a cool
Oh
experience. But I love watching alligators and crocodiles. I like watching like the way they hunt. I like watching how they just survive, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like even how they
yeah,
survive in the cold. Like I think it's amazing how they able to shut their heart rate down, and
yeah,
to where
that
they
is really
well,
cool.
it is it's really cool. It is like I'm really like obsessed with animals, and like I said, going back to the storms thing. I wanted to be a storm chaser once upon a time. I did. It
Did
was back in
you?
the '90s. Yeah, back in the '90s, I did because I used to have like the VHS tapes of like tornado videos and stuff, like home videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw the movie Twister. That changed my life. I said, you know what? I don't think I want to do this no more. I think I want to do something else.
Oh, really? Because most people
Yeah,
see that movie and they want to.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It scared me. Because the beginning, remember, I only remember the beginning of the movie when they was in that cellar. Um, the door was getting sucked open, and the father had went to hold the door, and he got pulled into the tornado. I'm like, oh my god, that
Oh,
set me
yeah.
off after
That.
that.
But that movie is really fake, though.
I know.
Like, yeah, like it's like not. It's not real. It's Hollywood, but
Right.
I
Exactly.
mean, some stuff is real, but like the flying cows and stuff, and like getting sucked out like that's not real. Like that would
Right.
happen.
Jeez. I mean, it's pretty intense because like especially when you got the EF5s, right? Like it's like a mile wide. I think the wind speed is like 250 to 300 miles per hour, I believe. That's
Yeah.
intense. I mean, that could destroy a whole town. I mean, that's really scary. Have you ever seen one of those
Oh
in
yeah.
person?
And they have like there's a lot of towns that have been destroyed.
Have you seen that in person, like a EF5?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Really? How was the experience?
Like you're like in awe and like I mean it's just crazy. Like when we chase storms, it's like we're not like daredevils, like we're not gonna go like right we're not gonna be put ourselves in danger. So I and for me, like as being a photographer, I prefer to be like away from the storm so I can see like the whole structure of it rather because if you're really up close to a huge tornado, basically all you see is like it just looks like rain. Like you can't tell there's a tornado because sometimes like especially EF5s they're like super wide. So if
Yeah.
you're just super close to it, it just looks like a rain wall. So
Really?
I prefer to be like back. Yeah, I prefer to be like back, like so I can see the whole structure rather
Mm.
than, right in front of it. But yeah, it's humbling, that's for sure. Like Mother Nature, you don't wanna F around with Mother Nature, man.
Oh, gee. I'm telling you, good Lord, have mercy. Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
So
never get nervous with tornadoes, do you? Not ever.
no. No.
Really? Huh.
No, not ever.
So how
Yeah.
long you been doing this though? How long you been into storm chasing? Like for
Oh,
the
like
past
10
few years,
years.
right? Okay, it's
10,
been that
yeah.
long. I didn't realize. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's what's up
Tornadoes
though.
not scary. Yeah. Hurricanes are different though. Like hurricanes, you can't really.
They flood.
Yeah, hurricanes are a different monster, and I don't like those at all.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty scary.
tornadoes, yeah, because hurricanes are so huge too. I mean, tornadoes can be huge too, but like in the scheme of things, like you can really like outrun a tornado if you need to, or like you can follow where they're going on
Mhm.
radar. Whereas hurricane, I mean, especially if you're in Florida where I am, a hurricane like takes over like the whole state, so there's really nowhere for you to go,
Oh,
you know,
jeez. Yeah.
unless you like
Wow.
fly out.
Right.
Yeah, like
Or
it's
evacuate like a
crazy.
week in advance.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Like
jeez.
evacuate
Wow.
out of state.
So have you ever seen a water spout before?
Oh yeah, yeah. When I used to live in the Florida Keys, and we'd see them at the back in our backyard.
What? How was that experience?
Yeah.
I mean, that would freak me out if I see that.
No, like because water spouts, like they're technically tornadoes, but they're really, really weak tornadoes.
Right.
Um, and same with like land spout tornadoes, which are the little spin ups.
Hmm.
Yeah, they. I mean, sometimes they look pretty spectacular, but really, they're they're pretty weak
I mean,
compared to like a supercell tornado.
imagine if you're on the ship, right, and then a water spout like come right by your ship. That had to be pretty intense. I'd be scared for real.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Real what?
But but yeah, I mean, yeah, we used to just look outside our like back door in the Florida Keys, and we'd see like water spouts.
That is intense. Wow.
Yeah,
I remember I
but
read a book. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, but they don't last that long. I mean, they last like a couple, I don't know, like 30 seconds, and then they're gone.
Interesting. I remember back in the day, I read a book about water spouts, and they was talking about how one had occurred, and when it went away, it had rained fish. Has it ever happened out there? Really?
That'd be cool.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't see
it
why.
will be.
I can see that happening. I mean, I don't think it's impossible,
Yeah, I
but
don't think
I
so
don't think it
either.
happens every time.
Right. I guess it's just that particular story they was talking about that I read. They was saying, yeah, it rained fish. I'm like, man, I said I would save some money on some meat. I'm telling you. Oh well.
I know, like with hurricanes too. Sometimes it'll rain fish.
What really?
Yeah,
I never heard of. Wow, interesting.
yeah, like
Because I have
hurricanes because they're so powerful. Yeah.
interesting. Well, I have family in Florida. They never ever told me that ever. So wow, that's brand new to me. Huh. Interesting. Wow. Huh. So how long you plan on doing this storm chasing thing?
Oh, probably like forever if I can.
Okay. So how would a person get into that? Like, let's say if I want to do it, do I have to buy the equipment, or do I got to find people? Do I apply for it, or what?
Yeah, you definitely have to go with like professionals for like a few years and like learn how to forecast and learn how to do it safely. I mean, there's a lot of storm chasers out there that just they call themselves storm chasers, and they basically go out and they follow everyone else around, or they'll see that there's a storm that's warned, and they'll just go towards it and try and find it. But like I said, there's like a way to like forecast them where you're at the right spot at the right time. Um, there's a lot of things to take into consideration with, in terms of like the road network where you're chasing. Like if there's no roads, you always want to have an escape route. Um,
Right.
so if you're not familiar with the roads and stuff, I mean, that can be a huge safety issue. Um, Also, like, yeah, I mean, you just have to. I'd say you'd have to go with professionals first, like for at least 2 or 3 years, and get to know how everything works, how to do it safely, how to at least learn a couple forecasting models to see how they work, and learn like the science behind it.
Right. Wow. Wow. That's pretty intense. I mean, even though, like I say, I wanted to be a storm chaser once upon a time, and it's like sometimes low key, I still want to go on a ride one day just to experience that, just to learn,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
that
you
one,
should.
just that one time. I should one
Yeah,
time, just one time. But I gotta
yeah.
make sure I
I
go with
mean, a
people that
lot
know
of
what they're
people.
doing.
Yeah, a lot of people will come just to learn, and then um, I have a friend who's come out like 3 times, and like he took notes. Um, he took some classes, like when he was back home, he took like some meteorology classes, some weather classes, and now he's like storm chasing out on his own.
Wow. Well, kudos
So,
to
and
him.
that's the way to do it. Like you don't want to just go out there and just wing it.
Right.
It's not really something you can just wing, but a lot of
Nah.
people do. A lot of people do,
Wow. That's it.
and a
Well.
lot
You
of
have to.
people get hurt.
Well, you got to respect nature, right?
Right, exactly. It's like if you want to go, swim with sharks. I wouldn't recommend anyone just go do it by themselves. But you want to go with professional dive people and like learn about them first, and then and then go do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Same
So.
thing.
Okay. So how? Okay. So after the storm stuff that you're still doing, how did you even get into working around with animals? Like, what got you into that?
Well, I've always like loved animals. Since like I was little. Like my mom always taught us like respect wildlife, respect animals. We would go catch frogs together outside. If there was like a baby bird that fell out of its nest, my mom would like show us how to like feed it and how to raise it. And so I've always been into animals like since I was like basically born. So I used to want to like when I was little, I used to want to be like a zoologist, and then I wanted to be a veterinarian, and then after that I wanted to be a park ranger. But none of those panned out. so, um, so basically, like I'm just like really self-taught about a lot of stuff, like with wildlife. I did volunteer in a wildlife rehab center for a few years. Um, I volunteered at one in Canada and here in Florida as well. So, and like I said, I have a lot of like courses under my belt, like zoology and biology. I have a lot of like pre-vet courses like under my belt. So it's just really just a passion. So when I came to Florida, there's this program called the Master Naturalist Program, which basically they teach you all about nature in Florida and plants, insects, animals. They teach you history. They teach you evolution. And once you pass, like, there's a series of 3 main courses, then you get your Master Naturalist certificate, and then you can work as a naturalist. So I did that, and then I got hired just part time as like a trail guide and like a kayak guide. And yeah, so I do a lot of kids, like a lot of field trip kids, elementary kids. We do hikes and I teach them about nature. um, we'll do like wading trips, so we kind of wade out into the harbor. It only goes up to our knees or whatever, and we'll scoop nets out and find different fish and crabs and stuff, and we'll teach kids about that, and adults too. A lot of adults don't know this stuff too. So, so yeah, I guess to answer your question, like I've always been into it. I've
Wow.
always loved animals. So, and here's my dog. He's right here.
Hey, what's his name again?
Snickers.
Snickers. That's right. That's right. Yo, I've
he,
seen you
he's
plenty of
always
times.
he's always got to be by me. So
He's pretty famous on social media, by the way. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I know. He's got his own Instagram. I'm that
Oh,
person.
he does. Okay, that's what's up. Nice.
I'm that person. Yeah.
So, is he the only animal you own, or you own more animals?
I own a cat as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Well, back in the day, we used to have like dogs. We had cats. We had a parakeet before. We had a rabbit. We had a turtle one time. We had a snapping turtle one time, actually.
Oh.
My sister gonna hate me for telling this story, but the turtle was opening his mouth one time, and she thought he was yawning, and she put a finger in it. He bit her like hard, and she
Yeah.
cried.
I'm surprised she didn't lose a finger because those guys can be like, those guys can be
Yes.
really vicious.
Oh, especially
I'm,
alligator turtles, alligator snapping turtles. Yeah,
yeah.
they are rough. They're no joke.
Yeah. I'm surprised you would have one as a pet.
Yeah, we just had like a regular snapping turtle, not an alligator snapping turtle. Thank God we didn't have that one, but we
Yeah.
just had a regular.
Oh.
I think we caught them. We was fishing. Yeah, we was fishing. We caught them and brought them home. And there's a long time ago when this happened. We was
Yeah.
kids, and yeah, that was pretty bad.
That's
We had to get rid of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could, I mean, ideally, if I could, if I had like all the money in the world, I would like open up my own animal like rescue sanctuary. That would be my thing, I think.
You should do that one
But
day. I could see you doing that.
yeah, I just need like money and like
Yeah, I
land.
know. Oh Lord, I know.
I
And
just need
that's
land and
expensive
money.
these days.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
land is super expensive. Good Lord. Well, I mean, one day I hope you're able to achieve that kind of success where money to where you can be able to, achieve your goal as far as like
yeah. I
having
know.
animal rescue.
Hope so. If not, I'll just continue doing what I'm doing. But yeah, ideally, like that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I mean, I love animals. I like animals more than people, to be honest. The older I get.
Yeah, I know. I do too. I do too. Like I said, I used to want to be a zoologist, but then I think my parents kind of talked me out of that because they're like, "Oh, well, it's not very good money in that field," and I'm like, "Okay." And then I wanted to be a veterinarian, and I applied so many times to vet school, but the competition is like super hard, or it was back then when I applied. So I think I applied like 4 different times and I got declined every time
Oh wow,
because
wow.
yeah, I had really high marks, but they still weren't high enough. So
Oh
then,
wow.
yeah, so then I was like, oh well, maybe I should be like a park ranger. And then I was like told like, oh, if you're a park ranger, you might have to like put down like problem bears and animals. You might have to put them down. And I'm like, I can't do that. So
Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah,
Jeez,
so
wow. Well, I didn't realize it was competition like that. I didn't know that. Wow.
yeah, vet school is like no joke. Like I I took so many courses, I kept trying to raise my GPA up and up and up. And I mean, it's not like my scores were bad, but I just couldn't compete with like the super brilliant people that got in.
Right.
So,
So
and
what
you
was the
can only try to,
requirement?
pardon?
I'm sorry. What was the GPA requirement? Was it like a 3.5 or 3.6?
No, I think it was like a 4.0.
Damn, like you got to be perfect, pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Jesus.
And I think my GPA was like 3.8 or 3.7, and it still wasn't good enough.
What? That's close enough when you run it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, and then
That's
like I would take another course to try and raise it up and reapply, but I think I went on with this for like 4 years, and I'm like, well, I can't keep doing this for four
yeah.
years and like not have a job or a goal. So I just stopped.
Wow. So you done with that, huh? You're not even trying to go back into that again, huh?
Oh no. I'm done
Yeah.
with school.
I don't blame you.
I'm done.
I don't blame you at all. Oh, jeez. And that costs money. It's not cheap either. So
Yeah, school is not cheap. Not cheap at all.
Mm-mm. No, no. Well, you're doing some incredible work. I mean, like I said, from the pictures I've seen and the things you post, I think it's incredible. I mean, all when I see it, when you post like the alligators and just all these different animals, I think it's incredible. It's pretty cool.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, you got to see again. You got to have respect for nature, right?
you
You
gotta have
have to.
respect for.
And they very
Yeah,
beautiful to me. Like, they very beautiful. I love watching. I used to watch Animal Planet a lot. I used to love like watching, like the big cats, the lions and the tigers, and to see how they operate and see how different they are from each other, and the hyenas. I just love that stuff. Because I kind of want to.
yeah.
I don't want to go back to school now, no, but I do want to. I don't know. I kind of want to work with animals eventually. Well, one day maybe, or even just as a volunteer. I don't know,
Yeah,
just for
you
the
should come volunteer
experience.
at my come volunteer when I open up my sanctuary. You can volunteer.
Okay,
You can
cool.
work
That's
for
a
me.
bet. All right,
Okay,
sounds great. I would love to. That'd be great.
but
Nice.
yeah, yeah. To me, like nature's like it's like my central thing. I don't know. Like if I and a lot of people don't get this. Like there's so many people that are just like they're so out of touch with nature. Like you don't understand like how many people I meet in Florida who have like never seen an alligator
What?
or
What?
have never been on a boat even in Florida. And I'm like, how can you like not they're stuck in like a concrete jungle, like they're stuck in Miami or they're stuck in Tampa, and they're just like, nope, cities are my thing, concrete's my thing. I don't even want to see like a spider in my house, I'll freak out. And I just like I cannot relate to those people. Like I'm just like we're just two different people. Like because I like need nature to survive. Like I need to live
Absolutely.
somewhere where there's like green spaces or like an ocean or something. Like I could not live in like a tiny apartment in the middle of a big city. Like I could just not do that.
Right.
So,
So I was going.
even yeah.
I was going to ask this. I know there's like an invasive species of pythons in Florida. What is your thoughts on that?
Invasive species of what?
Pythons, Burmese pythons. I've been reading about
Oh
that.
yeah. Well, honestly, like Florida has the most invasive species of any place on the planet.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, pythons are they're very invasive. Um, and I like pythons. Do I like them in Florida? Not necessarily, because they do a lot of damage. But is it Python's fault that they're here? No. You know.
Right.
So, it's like people get mad at the animal sometimes. Like, yeah, we gotta kill them, we gotta torture them because they're not supposed to be here. Well, they don't know that they're not supposed to be here. But yeah, I mean, there's a huge invasive animal population here. I mean, there's a lot of invasive birds. There's a lot of invasive frogs. There's a lot of invasive lizards. Um, like iguanas. There's tons of iguanas here. They're not supposed to be here. There's tons of invasive fish, like lionfish. They're not supposed to be here, and lionfish decimate the reefs here. Um, so yeah, there are a lot of invasive species here. Um, it's all humans' fault that they're here. I mean, they didn't come here naturally. They came here because people brought them here, or people buy these animals as pets and then realize they can't take care of them, so they'll release them. Um, and it's warm here. I mean, it's easy for animals to survive here. So then they thrive, and then they kind of take over the native species, um, which is bad. It's
Yeah, that
bad.
is bad.
And there are also a lot of invasive plants here. There's almost every plant here is invasive,
Mm.
not supposed to be
Wow.
here. So
Interesting. I
so
didn't know
yeah,
that.
I mean it's bad. Myself, the only invasive species that I would actually humanely euthanize if I had to is a cane toad. Um, People are always like, yeah, you should any kind of invasive species that you see, you should like catch them and kill them. If I saw an iguana, I could not kill it. I love iguanas. I would not kill it. Do I think it should be here? Probably not. It's not supposed to be here, but for myself to kill it, I can do it. But cane toads, I don't know if you know about cane toads.
I
They're
don't.
really poisonous. They are native to like Costa Rica, Central America. Um, but they thrive here and they eat everything. They'll eat rodents. They'll eat all our natural, like our native frogs. They'll eat them. And they have these huge glands that secrete poison. And if your dog or your cat even licks a little bit of that poison, they will most seriously probably die.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, very bad because, I don't want my dog to die. So, yeah, I would humanely euthanize a cane toad if I saw one.
Wow. I did not know that. That is interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
And it's
But,
been a problem for a long time.
oh, it's been a problem for a long time. They don't have too many where I live in my area, but over in Miami, like I went to my friend's house in Miami and I went outside one night and there were cane toads everywhere. And there
What?
was a cane toad. Yeah, there was a cane toad. Like, honestly, it was huge. I mean, I had to pick it up with two hands. Like, that's how huge it was. Yeah,
Wow.
they eat everything and they get huge and they secrete like just a really bad poison.
Oh, wow.
And
That's pretty scary.
that's their defense because nothing will eat them. Like that's why they thrive here because they're so poisonous that nothing can eat them. So they
Interesting.
just multiply. Yeah, they just multiply and multiply and yeah, it's bad. So
So, do they kill humans as well?
Um, yeah, if you like ingested their toxin. Yeah, so like you can pick them up and stuff and like hold them, but you want to wash your hands after. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't think I want to do that. No
But
thanks.
but yeah, like a lot of dogs and stuff like, especially my dog, he like chases anything in the yard and if he chased that and it secreted the poison and he got it on his mouth, yeah, he would probably die.
Wow, that's pretty intense. Holy shit. Well, I
Yeah,
hope
so
they able to combat that one day.
I don't know how. I mean, the only thing that they're telling us to do is like if you see them, you're supposed to humanely euthanize them, and but I don't know. There's so many,
What?
and
Wow.
people like a lot of people don't know the difference between like a cane toad and like the good native toads. So it's kind of like they won't kill anything because they don't know what if it's a good toad or a bad toad. So I don't know. I think it's a problem that we're gonna probably have forever.
So what's the difference between those two toads?
There's a feature on the face. So a cane toad has like a spade feature, whereas like the native toads don't.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
that's pretty scary when you think about it. Holy wow.
yeah. I know.
Well, it's
Yeah,
funny because
cane toad.
I've been to Miami plenty of times because I got family there, and I never seen one.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much gonna. I think they're gonna be spread all over Florida eventually. Like I said, in my area in Southwest Florida, I've never seen one yet. But I've heard reports like people have say, oh, they're in Fort Myers, which is just north of us. So I'm assuming eventually it'll get down here.
Oh no.
But yeah, my friend's house in Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. Like I went outside one night and oh my god, I couldn't believe how many cane toads were there. And she just thought they were just the normal toads. And I'm like, no, these are the bad toads. Like you do not want your dogs to eat these toads.
Ugh, that's horrible. Ugh,
Yeah.
jeez.
So
Humans are horrible,
and
okay?
they were everywhere there. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is the most cane toads I've ever seen.
Wow. I had no idea about that. Now I want to research this now. I want to like go on YouTube and see some videos. Wow.
Research cane toads. Yeah,
I
or
will.
sorry, CANE toads.
CANE toads. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
and
look it
that's
up.
that's like really the only invasive like species that I would kill if I saw one. All the rest, I don't think I could kill because I just love animals, and it really isn't their fault. But I know it's bad; they're not supposed to be here. But I don't think I could bring myself to like. I mean, if
So
other people want to kill pythons, like that's fine. I mean, they are really bad. But I mean, for myself to go out python hunting, I would never do that.
no, I won't do that either. I mean, unless it's in my toilet, like it creeps up, I will have to
Yeah,
kill it then. Or
yeah,
come to my house. It has to go, yes. Yeah, you're not
yeah,
welcome, okay? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's pretty intense about the toad thing. Like I had no idea. Like I heard about everything else. I saw the iguanas. I saw a program about that as well. But the toad
yeah,
thing, that is so I not wow. I want to look this up. I do. I want to look it up right now,
yeah,
which I
definitely.
will after we get off this. But yeah, that's wow.
And yeah, and then like tell your family in Miami to look for cane toads
Okay, I
because
will.
they're there, and like to if they have pets, like be careful around them.
Yeah, I will. That's pretty scary. I'm at
Yeah.
well once this show come out, they're gonna see this, and yeah, I hope they on the lookout because that's crazy. That's
Okay.
intense.
Yeah, cane toads are bad. Um,
Wow. Holy shit. That is in wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so now I'm gonna jump around. So after that, now you're getting to acting. So how did that
right.
opportunity came around? Have you been acting
Okay.
before?
So that opportunity came as a surprise. So I haven't really done much modeling since I moved to Florida because I just don't want to really. Um, but I still had like I didn't realize this, but I still had like a modeling profile that was up. Like I had like online, like a profile. And then out of the blue one day, this like a woman like contacted me through my Instagram, and she said, "Hey, I'm a film writer director, and I saw your profile on this modeling site, and I want to know if you want to be part of my movie." And I totally thought it was a scam because like most shit like that is a scam. So I didn't answer her, but then it like kind of bothered me. I'm like, well, like I kind of miss like doing all like the art stuff, and I'm like, yeah, being in a movie might kind of be cool. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna reply back to her and see what kind of response it is. And she responded back to me and she's like, yeah, no, I really this isn't a scam. Like she's like, I make movies, like independent movie um producer, and I just like you had the look that I want for this part. And I said, well, I don't do acting. Like I've never done any acting aside from like plays that I did like in high school. And she's like, oh no. She's like, that's okay. Like I'm looking for like new actors and like new faces. And so she's like, well, like just call me on the phone if you think I'm a scam. Just call me on the phone, or she's like, we can FaceTime. So I did that, and I looked her up online and everything. She's like totally legit. Her name is Brooklyn Winters, and yeah, she's done like a lot of different movies before. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, sure, I'll be in your movie then. So she sent me the script, and it was cool because then like when everyone was cast, we did like a huge like table read, and yeah, and that's just kind of how it started. Like that's how the door opened, and then I was in I was in that one movie as like a supporting role, and then she made another. It's a TV series actually, and she's like, I really want you to be part of this TV series too, because she's like, you're dependable. Like, you know, she's like, if you liked being in my first movie, you can be in this series. And so I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, so then I really kind of like enjoyed it. Like, you know, it was something different. Um, it wasn't modeling, but it was still like, you know, you got to pretend you were someone else. And I just really liked it. So then, you know, I have these two things under my belt. So then I kind of started joining like groups on Facebook and Instagram, like, you know, Tampa Bay um, film community, Ocala film community. Like, I just started joining all these groups. And like, I noticed like people would put out like auditions, like auditions for this movie. Just send a photo and a resume or send a reel or whatever. And they'd always put like, yeah, newcomers welcome to try out. So I'm like, okay. So then I would just kept doing that, and then got a couple more roles. So that's just really how it started. It was like all just pure luck.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. So do you have like a main lead role or you're a supporting cast member or what?
So I have another just supporting role in a movie that's coming out. We're starting to film in November. It's a horror movie called Yard Sale Massacre, and I just play a supporting role in that. Um, and then I got another role as a lead role in something that's going to be filming probably early next year.
Awesome. So, are you a horror movie fan like I am?
Yeah, I am. I
Okay,
am.
that's what's
Like
up.
Brooke,
Okay.
yeah. Like I prefer like I'm a huge like sci-fi fantasy nerd and like a horror nerd. So yeah, so these the one that I play a lead role in is going to be like a horror sci-fi as well. So I mean that's like right up my alley. And same with Yard Sale Massacre. So when Rick Danford, who is the writer of Yard Sale Massacre, when he sent me the script, he's like, just read it and tell me what you think about your part. And I read it, and it's just like so gory. It's just so awesome. And I like I wrote him back, and I'm like, I'm 100% in. Like this is so awesome. So yeah, it's like more my genre.
Yeah,
Um,
that's dope. I want to see this like when it comes out. I want to see it.
yeah, yeah. Brooklyn Winters, like her films are more drama, if you would say, like more like drama, mystery, like like high fashion, like I mean, it was fun to play, but definitely I I'll watch the movies, but it's not the kind of movies that I would normally watch. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
because I'm just not into that kind of movie. Good to be a part of them, and yeah, I'll watch them because I was a part of them, but just not my kind of movies. But I'm so grateful for Brooklyn Winters because she's the one that opened the door for this.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to
So
Brooklyn.
yeah,
Well,
Brooklyn Winters, thank you so much.
if she ever need a man, a new one, holler at me, okay? I'm just joking.
she, I'm sure she would. Oh my god, yeah.
Really? Okay, I'm up
Oh
for
yeah,
it. Because I did
I'll
drama in
tell her.
high school. Sweet,
Yeah,
cool.
I'll tell her. I'll tell her next time. I'm sure because I'm sure like she doesn't stop. I mean, she did this one film called I Am God, which I was part of, and it's actually being submitted to film festivals right now. So that's why I don't really have too much out about it because she hasn't released much because I guess she can't while it's being submitted to film festivals. She can't like release a lot about it. But then so she did that, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm filming another like it's going to be a TV series called House of Cat," and she's like, "Yeah, I want you to play a role in it." But yeah, she always looks for new faces, and like she'll like even if you live out of town, like she'll fly you in. um so
Okay,
it's yeah, if she does, I'm
fair.
sure she'll do another project because she's just one of those ladies that can't stop. Like she's always got to have something going. And she does music too. She does her own songs for the movies. She's a really good singer.
What?
um yeah, she's just she's like she's amazing. I love her.
Okay, I'm curious. I gotta do my research now for real. I need to do
Okay.
some research and listen to her music and watch some of her projects for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah,
her name is Brooklyn Winters.
Brooklyn Winter
Um,
is in the house.
yeah,
Cool. Awesome.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well, yep. I'm gonna see then because I would love to be a new face on a project for sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. If she does another project and she's like, I'm gonna say like, no, you gotta call this guy, and I can vouch
Okay.
for him.
Okay. That's what. Okay. That's
I'm
what's
sure
up.
she'll.
Okay.
I'm sure she'll
I,
have another project. I don't know if she'll cast me again, but I'm sure she would cast you in a heartbeat.
okay. Cool. Cool. Well, I'm dead serious. So I will definitely do it. Oh, absolutely, I will. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Cool. I appreciate that for real. I do. Good looking out.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I'm
yeah.
looking forward to seeing your projects. I really want to see you flourish with this. That'd be great.
Thank you. I know it's
Yeah.
like I have so much on my plate. I try and stay busy. I try
Oh,
and
you
keep
doing
it.
it?
I know. Yeah, and like I don't know anyone busier than myself.
No,
So
you're killing it. I mean, you
plus
keep
I
your
have like
sanity.
a real job. Yeah, plus I have a real job on the side, like on top of it all. But yeah, just try and keep busy. Try and like keep the depression away. Stay busy. You know,
Right. Yeah,
keep it.
I understand that.
Yeah, yeah. And I like doing like a variety of things. So you know, from science to art, and you know, keep it interesting. Life's short. Keep it interesting, right?
I agree. You're a very multifaceted person for sure. And I want to say this. I just want to send out my condolences to you about your father when he passed away.
Oh,
I know I've done it before, but I want to say it verbally.
yeah. Likewise with your mother, Patrick.
I appreciate
Tough.
that. It
Yeah.
is tough. It is. It's very surreal. You know, it just every day you wake up, you hoping it's not real, but it is real, and we just have to, carry them with us while we try to do the right thing in life.
Right. They would want us to carry on, so that's what we're doing.
Absolutely, that's all we're doing. Yep, the best way we. I mean, I do fall short as a human because I'm a man, but I get myself back going, and I just try to do the right thing. Just keep sticking with the plan and going for my goals
We
and
all
trying to
do.
achieve. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Do
I
you
really
remember
felt bad for you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
you feel bad for me?
Yeah, I felt bad for you when that happened. I'm like, dang, I said, because I
Oh,
went through that. I went through it. I didn't want
yeah.
nobody else to go
I
through that.
know. Yeah. I know. That's how I am too now. Like whenever I see someone else like lose a father, lose a mother, I'm just like, I do not envy you. Like it's so hard.
It is. It's
So
life
yeah,
changing.
totally, totally sucks.
It either make you or break
Um,
you. I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I
uh,
apologize.
I was just gonna say, like, do you remember how we first met?
On MySpace, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. A
yeah.
long time ago.
I was,
Yes.
I was like thinking about that the other day. I'm like, do I like besides Patrick, do I have any other friends that I met on MySpace? I don't think I do.
No, I'm the original, okay?
Yeah, you are.
Because I had my music at the time and you was doing your modeling stuff at the time. And
That's right.
we
Yeah,
always
that's
been real
I was.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And we always been real
yeah.
cool. I was just been, just very supportive of each other. And it's been like that since then. That's like what 16 years ago or something. It's been a long
Oh my god,
time.
like it's been so long. But I was just like, I was just like, I just couldn't believe that because I'm like, it's just, but like that is so long ago, and like for us to be in contact, like through all those years, through like changing different social medias, like that's cool. That's
It is
special
pretty
to
cool.
me. That's
It is. It's
special.
very special, and we went through so many different things in our life, and we also evolved as humans during that
Right.
process, during that time. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. So that I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, that's pretty cool.
it is cool. Wow, and we aging gracefully, for sure. We are.
Right. Right.
We still look pretty young, and that's a blessing.
We're still, yeah, exactly.
So,
So I don't know.
what is your future goals like that you're trying to accomplish overall? Besides, with the animals and everything, what is your ultimate goal as a human? What are you trying to accomplish?
My ultimate goal as a human. I
Yes,
just want to be. I don't know, to be honest. I just want. I mean, my ultimate goal isn't to be. You know, I'm not gonna lie. It's not. It's not to win an Oscar or anything like that. It's not even on my mind. I just want to have like a comfortable home, and not have to worry about finances, and just do my own thing and be a good person.
I can see that for you. I think you're on your way. I feel
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
big time. You're gonna make it, Tam. I can just see it, and I envision it. I do.
That's for
Yeah. Yes. I was gonna ask this too because you mentioned about depression. So is your depression stemming from the loss of your father, or just depressed in life in general, just certain life situations?
sure. That's a good question. I feel like been I've always had anxiety. Okay, like ever since I was young. It's just I feel like it's just part of me. And I've had like bouts of depression like ever since I was maybe like a teenager, like not like serious like I'm going to kill myself depression, but I've had like, weeks where I've been like down and then weeks where I'm okay. Um at the time I'm like I think this is just normal. But when my dad died, it definitely exacerbated that. So, um, and yeah, I mean, I've always been a worrier too. Like I worry about everything. I did after my father, no, before my father died. When he was dying, um, I did go to see a therapist, like a psychiatrist, because my I think my grief was worse than my grief. Like my anticipatory grief, my knowing that he was going to die was worse than like the grief when he died. I don't know if that makes sense. But
Yes.
so I ended up seeing like a counselor before my dad even passed because I couldn't deal. I couldn't deal with knowing my dad was going to die. I couldn't deal with going to see him while he was dying. I couldn't. I mean, all these things were going through my head. I'm like, I'm gonna have to change my dad's diapers. Like, I'm like, I can't. I couldn't deal with it. So my counselor, she told me that I am a catastrophizer. So I catastrophize about a lot of things. So, for example, if I call my mom and she doesn't answer right away, I think all the worst things in my head.
Mm.
So, my mom's fallen. She's had a stroke. She can't answer the phone because, she got in a car accident. That's where my brain goes to. So she's like, you're a catastrophizer. And like that really enhances your anxiety and your depression. And she's like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just how some people are, and that's how you are. Um, so, um, so yeah, so I mean, I've always kind of had that kind of mindset, I think.
Right. Wow. I mean, that's pretty intense, and it's
Yeah.
fair on why you think like that. I mean, I get it. I used to have
Yeah.
those thoughts with my mom as well, with my mother, and my worst fear happened. It really did,
Right.
because I felt in my
Yeah.
heart, I'm like, man, I said something's not right, and I got that phone call. She was brain
Yeah.
dead in the hospital, and that just destroyed me when that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and like I try not to be like that anymore, but it's just I don't know, it's just built into who I am. Like I just always for some reason think the worst. And um I don't know why, because it's like, my mom will call me like 5 minutes later and she'd be like, I was in the bathroom, I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, but I'm one of those people that needs like validation. Like, you need to tell me you're okay. If you don't answer the phone like 3 times after I call, you need to call me back and say like it's okay, or text me back and say everything's okay.
Right.
you
Right.
know. But yeah,
But
like I do have high functioning anxiety as a baseline. So stuff like my dad dying, or if my dog gets sick, or if I hear like my aunt gets sick or something, like it increases my anxiety, and like I just can't let it dwell. So that's why I stay busy a lot, is because if I sit down and have just like a lot of downtime, then those feelings start to creep in, and I can't let that happen.
yeah, I could see that. I mean, that's real. Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the fact. I mean, I'm glad you went to. I'm glad you got counseling just to work through your situation. Work through your issues, because we all have our own issues, right? I mean, I done therapy
Right.
myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about it, but it's we're all human, and
Right.
it's okay to ask for help sometimes.
Absolutely. And we all have feelings, right?
Right.
Jeez. Well, I admire you. I'm glad you did that. You know what I mean? Because depression is a real thing. We all dealt with it. Like I said, I done had my depressing moments, and it come and go for me. Sometimes,
Right.
some days I'm great, and then some days I'm just blah. Like nothing sounds good
Yeah.
to me. The future looks so bleak sometimes, but then some days I'm okay.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
like this
That's it.
seesaw type thing.
Yeah. Me too. So I think that's normal. I think that's normal. But it's
It
nice
is.
to hear like a conversation like that from someone else, so you're not alone.
No, no, not at all. No, 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 no. That's why I talk about it so often, because I want people to feel comfortable, especially us
Yeah.
guys, because we don't talk about it enough. We just bury
Yeah.
stuff, and,
Like
and then we just explode.
I do appreciate when you do that, because yeah, like I said, it makes you feel not alone, and you know makes you feel like kind of normal.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So what kind of? So I'm kind of getting off that now. So what is your any kind of future plans going on besides the acting? Like, you have any other things, exciting opportunities, or no?
What? No.
No.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm
So with that said, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm gonna go see my mom in Canada this summer, and then come back and just start working really hard and doing the film, and just carrying on, and we'll see where that takes me.
Awesome. How many weeks will you be gone for? Like a week or two, or 3 weeks, or what?
Oh, in Canada, probably a
Yeah,
couple months.
a couple
Yeah,
months. Oh, okay. That's cool. Fair enough.
yeah,
Absolutely. Well, I hope you have a
yeah.
safe trip, and I hope you have a lot of fun up there.
I will. I'm sure I will. It's
Yeah.
always fun to go, especially in the
Which
summer. So,
and which part of Canada is it again?
Calgary.
Okay, okay, okay. And so, what is your favorite food up there? Like, what's the cuisine that people like?
Um, well, it's. I mean, it's a lot like here, the
Okay.
cuisine. But because I'm half Chinese, so my dad was from Hong Kong. I love authentic Chinese food, so you can't get that around here where I am from.
Oh,
In
nice.
Florida, like you can get Chinese food, but it's not authentic. So that's probably like where I'll be eating most is in like
Okay.
Chinatown and up there, like
Yeah.
real like dim sum and just real authentic stuff. Places my
Yeah.
dad used to go to in Chicago.
So, was your father born and raised in China, or he?
Hmm.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, he's from Kowloon, Hong Kong. And then when he was a teenager, his mother gave him some money to come to Canada to go to school. Um, so he took the money, but he didn't go to school. He ended up
Damn.
working on the railroads, and he worked doing different things. He didn't go to school, even though he told his mother he was going to school. He didn't.
Mm,
And then he met my mom, and he didn't know much. He didn't know much English, and my mom's like a stickler for like Asian guys, so she like fell for my dad, and basically like taught him English, and yeah, the rest is history.
oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow. So, how did
So,
the death of your father affect your family?
um, yeah, I mean, we're all like devastated. So, especially my dad. Like, I mean, he was. I mean, your mom looked young too, but my dad was like really young. I mean,
Right.
he was like 65, 64. I mean, he just retired. He had all these plans to like travel and take my mom to all these places, and that's never gonna happen.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it was definitely sad.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Did it bring your family close together? Because sometimes when death happens, people become either divided or they get closer.
We've always been close, so like it's the same. Like we've always been like the closest family ever. Like even people like that didn't, they could always see that we were a close knit family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, no, we're still close, definitely. Um, but it's different. With someone gone, it's definitely different. Like the feel when you go home, like when I go home, when I go back home, like it's different. Because my dad's not there, and it's just it's different.
Yeah, I understand that completely. I mean, when I went back home in
Yeah,
November, it's the same feeling I had. I was ready to come back here, to be honest. I mean, I enjoyed
yeah,
myself, but it just felt so weird.
I know, I know. It's kind of like you want to go, but you don't at the same time because you don't have to deal with like the emotions that are gonna come with it. But
Right.
can't stay away forever.
No. Well, one thing I will say is that you and I are both survivors. All right, we are making it through this journey as best as we can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are.
And you're doing a
No,
fantastic job. Like I really like to see the growth. Like you grew so much, and I'm really proud of you. Seriously.
oh, that's so nice. I'm proud of you
Yeah,
too.
I appreciate that. I'm trying. It's not easy, but I'm really trying my hardest. Just to better
I've always
myself.
been proud of you, like with your boxing and like your fitness. Like, I mean, you've always been like killing it. So
I appreciate that. I try sometimes, especially as an older man. I'm trying. I had a back injury which sucked, but
I
you
saw
know,
my
yeah,
back.
it's huh? Yeah, well, it was bad though. But yeah. So anyway, what is your social media handle so people can follow you?
Um, so my um Instagram is tam underscore from underscore Canada. Um,
Awesome.
I'm not Twitter anymore. I'm not doing Twitter. It's just too toxic for me. Um, So I don't do Twitter. And then Facebook, I don't really. Facebook's really only for close friends and family. So just if you want to see what I'm doing, just Instagram Tam underscore from underscore Canada, and you'll
Awesome,
find me there.
awesome,
Um,
awesome,
yeah, and
awesome.
yeah, and then I have links to the storm chasing company on Instagram. I have a link to my nonprofit Wolf Matters, and I have a link to my IMDb for my acting stuff. So basically everything, like if you want to snoop around what I'm doing, you can find it on Instagram.
Okay, see, I didn't know about the acting link. I'm gonna have to look into that for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I mean, there's not much there, but just
Oh, okay.
I'll up
It,
it. So
it will be real soon. I can envision that.
yeah, Steven Spielberg, if you're there. Hi.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Well, Tam, I really appreciate this opportunity. And like I said, you're doing some incredible stuff. Keep it up, stay busy, and keep smiling.
I will try. You too, sir.
I will. I will. I appreciate that. Until next
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Peace.